Hello, kindergarten friends. I'm Mrs. Adams, and I'm going to be your art teacher. I know that school looks a little different this year. I'm in my mask. We're not in my art room, but we are still going to draw together a couple times each week, and you are going to learn how to follow along. You're going to learn how to follow directions, and you're going to start to learn how to draw realistically. Some of you kindergartners might like to draw at home. Some of you might not be too interested in drawing at home, and that's okay. But each week, you're going to follow Mrs. Adams. Again, my name is Mrs. Adams. And each week, you're going to follow along with me, and you're going to draw what I draw. I'm going to show you how to draw different things by just showing you how I'm going to break them down into simpler lines, and we're going to put them together and create pictures, okay? So this is what I want you to remember. You should have a little pack of paper that looks like this. You got this from your teacher in your to-go packet. This is your art paper. It doesn't have any lines, just a clean piece of paper. Unfortunately, guys, I only had enough paper, one per lesson, okay? So don't use up all your paper at once. Don't use up all your paper today on our Ladybug. You get one piece of paper per drawing, okay? So that brings me to kindergarten friends. The most important thing I want you to remember when you're with Mrs. Adams, whether online or at school in my art classroom, there's never going to be a time when you make a perfect drawing every time. Mrs. Adams has been teaching art a long time. I do not make a perfect drawing every time, I promise, okay? So I don't want you to ever worry if your drawing isn't exactly how you want it. We're just practicing. Okay, drawing is just like anything else you do. The more you practice, the better you get. But you need to practice. And sometimes you can't draw all on your own and you get frustrated, and that's okay. But I want you to follow me, and I'll show you some different tips and tricks how to draw. And I really want you to know though, guys, in my classroom, there's never wrong answers or right answers. There's no good or bad or better or best or worst, okay? We all just draw different. Just like Mrs. Adams has a different thumbprint than you do. Mrs. Adams has a different voice than you do. I draw very differently than you do. So your artwork is never gonna look just like mine. I don't want it to. That would make art very boring. If all pictures were the same, that'd be very boring. I want you to draw how you draw, and that is fine with me, okay? You'll never get a wrong answer in my class. You just follow along, and we'll try it out, and we'll draw together, okay? So I want you to get one piece of this paper, one piece, and your pencil. You were given a pencil, and we are going to practice drawing this ladybug. I know that the pencil has an eraser on it. What I really want you to know, kindergartners, is in my class, I don't even usually use pencils. I don't want kids to use erasers all the time and try to get it perfect and erase and erase and erase every time you make a mark, okay? I want you to try. My challenge to you is to draw with your pencil and never use your eraser. Think you can do it? That's my challenge, okay? It's not gonna be perfect. That's fine, no problem. I want you to draw the way you draw, okay? So that's my challenge. If you need to erase the first couple times, that's fine. But my challenge is that you just try your best, and that's all, okay? So I bet you guys know what this is, little cute ladybug. So I want you to get your paper and your pencil, and we're gonna start with the ladybug. You are gonna follow Mrs. Adams. You are gonna draw what I draw, okay? So don't start drawing right now. I haven't made any marks. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and start with the bottom of the ladybug's head. This is a straight line. This is where the ladybug's head touches the body. So we're gonna start with a straight line. Kindergartners, if you make a straight line this big, are you gonna have room for your ladybug? Probably not, right? You wanna look and you wanna make it just a little bit smaller, okay? Decide how wide you want your head to be on your ladybug. That's how long you're gonna make your straight line. So, I think I want my ladybug kind of big on my paper. So I'm gonna make a straight line. And then there's a curved line on top for the top of the ladybug's head. I'm gonna follow this curved line. So I'm gonna make it curve up and back down and touch. So watch, it's gonna start right here. It's gonna curve up, and I'm gonna go nice and slow, and it's gonna curve back down and touch. Uh-oh, I have a dried out Sharpie. There we go. So let me make sure that that's nice and dark so everybody can see it. I'm just gonna follow right along. You don't have to do this if you've already drawn your curve line. I just wanna make sure everybody can see it. So look, I have a straight line, curve line on top. Now for the ladybug's body, it's kind of rounded in real life. So we're gonna make another curve line. Their bodies are bigger than their head. So I know my curve line needs to be bigger than this curve line, right? If I make a curve line that's smaller, it's gonna look like a huge head and a tiny little body. So I wanna make it nice and big, okay? This time I'm gonna make my curve line down, bigger than that top curve line, nice and slow, and bring it back up and touch. See how I watched? And I made it sure and touch the other side, okay? Let's jump back up to our ladybug's head. Ladybugs, of course, are bugs, and they've got kind of bug eyes. So on the top of the head, sort of to one side, I'm gonna make an eyeball. Again, the eyeball, friends, is gonna be smaller than the head. Think of your eyes. They're smaller than your head, of course. So I don't wanna make a big curve line that's bigger than the head. I wanna make a curve line that's much smaller. So on one side, small little curve line for one eyeball. On the other side, same thing. Small little curve line for that small little eyeball. And then in between, I bet you guys know what those things sticking out of its head are. In between, we're gonna make the antenna, okay? So in between the eyes, not coming out of the eyes, not coming out here on the side, in between, we're gonna make 1, 2 straight lines, however long you want the antenna to be. Maybe they're very, very long, maybe they're shorter. This is your drawing, there's no right or wrong, but we're gonna make 1, 2 straight lines. And then on the end, it's a little thicker. On the end of the antenna is a little thicker. So you're gonna take your time and you're gonna make a little dot on one side, a little dot on the other side. Did I scribble scrabble like that? No. Take your time and make a dot like that, okay? I forgot to mention, I am here at Western Oaks in the art room that someday you're gonna get to come to. Sometimes you will hear a noise. That's my air conditioner, friends. It is very loud. So if you hear kind of a rumbly noise, that's what that is. And you'll get used to it, I'm used to it. But I just realized some of you have never been in my art room before, so that's what that noise is that you might sometimes hear on my videos. No big deal. Okay, so here's the head. The head is done. Now ladybugs, some of you might have seen, they can fly. So they have wings. So from the head, look at that first straight line, that very first straight line that we made. Right in the middle, we're gonna make a straight line very carefully all the way down and touch the bottom of that curve line. That is gonna be where the wings can open up and the ladybug can take off and fly. So this is showing the wings. It's just from the straight line all the way down nice and slow to the bottom, okay? On, of course, the wings, ladybugs are famous for their what? For their polka dots. We are not gonna do with pencil, we're not gonna fill it in. We're just gonna draw circles so that you can color them in later, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But on the wings, I'm very carefully gonna make circles on the wings. You can make as many as you want. You might have a ladybug with 4 circles. You might have a ladybug with 100 circles. I don't know, just make however many circles you want. We're not gonna do it on the head. There's no dots on the head. We're only doing it on the wings, okay? And did I go like this? I did not scribble scrabble. I took my time and did circles all over the wings. Now ladybugs, they have, do you know how many legs they have? They have 6 legs. There's 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So for its legs, we're gonna choose one side. And how many are on that side? There's 3. So on one side, I'm gonna make a slanted line that comes up a little ways, and then it's gonna come down just a little ways. That shows the bend in its little bug leg. So I've got 1, then I'm gonna make another one, up a little ways and down a little ways. That's 2. How many more do I need on this side? I need 1 more to make 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3 legs on one side. I'm gonna jump over the body. I'm not gonna draw legs right on top of the body, of course, they stick out. So I'm gonna jump over the body, and I'm gonna do the same thing, only this time the leg's gonna slant up a little ways, and down a little ways. Up a little ways, and down a little ways. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. How many more do we need? We need 1 more. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Up a little ways, down a little ways. And guess what? You just did your very first Western Oaks drawing with Mrs. Adams. I'm so proud of you. Now, when you are at school, I will have tons of cool art supplies. We are going to paint. We are going to use chalk pastel and oil pastel, marker, Sharpie sometimes. So I have lots of really cool art supplies for you to use. At home, I know you don't have all of those things, but I do know that you have crayons. So I want you to take your time and color in with your crayons. Look at my ladybug. Their head and their polka dots are black and their body is red. You do not have to make your ladybug black and red. You can make your ladybug rainbow colors. You can make your ladybug blue and orange. You can make your ladybug any colors. If you want a realistic ladybug, then you're gonna make the polka dots black and the head black and the rest red, just like this picture. But that's the thing with Mrs. Adams art class, you will not get it wrong if you wanna do something else. This is just if you want it realistic, which means that it looks like it does in real life. If you see a ladybug, realistic. But if you want something totally different, you can do something totally different. That is fine. Another thing I want you to know, kindergartners, every time you do a drawing with Mrs. Adams for your specials, you need to take a picture of it or have your adult at home take a picture of it, and you're gonna put it on Seesaw. Your adult will know how to do that. If not, Mrs. Adams has office hours every day, 8:30 in the morning till 9:30 in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day. And your adult can ask me, or you can jump on and just say hello. I would love to meet my new kindergarten friends. So you're always welcome just to say hello. Or if anybody has a question about art, that's when I'm available, okay? So kindergartners, I'm so proud of you for drawing your first realistic drawing with Mrs. Adams. We're gonna have a lot of fun over the 9 weeks, and I just cannot wait until we can be in my classroom and use all my cool supplies and hang out and get to know each other better. I can't wait to meet you in person, but until then, I will see you next week. I love you already. I'll see you soon. I hope that you guys are well, and I can't wait to meet you. Bye, guys.